The cost of living in the UK depends on so many factors like your income, your lifestyle, where you live, and so much more. Some places in the UK obviously have a higher cost of living than some others, so you should put all these into consideration when planning to move to the UK, as it's very important to have a picture of what life there would cost. So if you plan to work or study in the UK, it is worth calculating how much money you will need to live comfortably on the average. So in this video, we're discussing the monthly cost of living in the UK on the average, both for singles and for families. This is just for you to have an idea of how much it will cost you to live and survive in the UK. So if you're planning to move to the UK, or you just moved to the UK and you're looking for a guide, trying to plan yourself to know what cost of living in the UK looks like, then this video is for you because it's going to be really detailed. I'm going to be discussing and explaining lots of things that will teach you how to calculate some bills to be paid in the UK, and basically things to note to help you survive in the UK. My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video already so YouTube can recommend it to more people. Share it so everyone can benefit from it. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back. So before I continue, this video is brought to you in partnership with Lemonade Finance. It's an app that me and many of my friends and family regularly use to send money to Africa. As some of you may already know, Lemonade Finance allows Africans in the UK, US, and Canada to send money to 10 African countries. So you can send money to Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Benin, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda at 0 fees. Yes, guys, you heard me. There are no hidden charges at all, and the recipient receives the money instantly. And guys, they have the best rates that you can find in the market, so you would always get your complete value for money. My friends and I have been using Lemonade Finance for a while now, and I can guarantee you that it's very fast, easy to use, and completely free when it comes to sending money back home. So you can download the app with my referral link in the description box to get 10% cash back on your first transactions. You can also type in my code Tochi if you've downloaded the app directly from the App Store. That way you get 10% cash back on your first transactions above £100. So if you send £100, you get £10 back. If you send £200, you get £20 back, and so on, capped at £50. How exciting is this news, guys? Hurry now, download Lemonade Finance app and begin to send money to Africa for free, absolutely free. And don't forget to use my code Tochi. Now back to the video on the average cost of living monthly in the UK. Some of the biggest expenses to consider when calculating your cost of living in the UK are housing, transportation, food, utility bills, and healthcare. These are the basic ones, like the ones you can't run away from, and they take a higher percentage of your money when it comes to living in the UK. So we'll just run through an approximate cost of all these expenses. Number one, housing. Obviously, everyone needs a roof over their heads, right? Accommodation is very important, and it obviously takes a chunk of your money every month, right? So it's very important that you consider this factor when you're renting a house, when you're looking for a city to live in, where to settle in the UK and all that. Houses in London are obviously more expensive than houses outside London. And it was recorded last year that houses in London increased by 17% and houses outside London increased by 10%. So how much you pay for rent will depend on the type of house and where it's located, like the city it's in, right? And for London, an average cost of a 1 to 2 bed house in London is about £1,000 to £1,500. This could be less and this could be more. It depends on your location and the type of house as well, because some houses are obviously more expensive than the others. So you should have these at the back of your mind when you're looking for an accommodation, right? And for houses outside London, that is for a 1 to 2 bed house, we should be looking at £600 to £1,000 every month. This should give you an idea of how much accommodation in the UK would cost you every month. Number 2, feeding. Food is very important, obviously, so we can't talk about living in the UK or the cost of living anywhere in the world without talking about the cost of food, right? Now, this depends on so many factors. It depends on the size of your family, whether you cook at home most times or you eat out. It depends on how well you consume food. It depends on so many things. I don't think any two families will spend the same amount of money on feeding because they are obviously different and they have different circumstances, right? Even two single people might not spend the same amount of money on feeding every month. But we are looking at how much food will cost you monthly in the UK on the average. So in the UK right now, feeding could cost you anywhere between £300 to £500 monthly. Remember, this could be more and this could be less as well. It just depends on how you consume food. There are people who really don't eat so much because they spend most of their time at work. There are people who eat so much, like they love food and they always eat. And then it depends on the size of your family, how many children you have, how much they eat. Obviously, children eat so much. Of course, they all need food to grow. So it just basically depends on your circumstance. But ideally, this should give you an idea of how much feeding would cost you in the UK on a monthly basis. Number 3, transportation. This is another area that takes up a lot of your money in the UK. You might not even think about it that much, but if you really sit down to calculate and go through how much you've spent in the UK on a monthly basis, you will discover that the money you have spent on transportation is not one to overlook. This takes a large chunk of your money every month. So for transportation, it also depends on your circumstance, right? Do you want to consider getting a car? Will getting a car be cheaper for you, especially if you have a family? Or will it be better if you use the public transport system? Will that be cheaper for you? So we'll be looking at how much transportation will cost you on the average in the UK. So if you're going to be using the public transport system, it might be cheaper for you. You might get a monthly bus pass, which will cost anywhere from £100 to £160, depending on your city, right? It could be more, it could be less. It just depends on your city, how well you use a bus and all that. And if you have a large family and you think that getting your own car will be better and cheaper for you, then you should put the cost of fueling your car into consideration as well. You should also consider the cost of getting a taxi, because these days it's not really cheap getting taxis. It might be more convenient, but it's not cheap, okay? So on the average, the cost of transportation in the UK could be anywhere around £150 to £300 every month. Number 4, utility bills. You can't really talk about living in the UK without talking about utility bills, because obviously you will pay bills living in the UK. And right now it is said that UK is one of the most expensive countries to live in. I would want to agree with that, because recently the cost of everything has gone up in the UK, especially energy bills, right? So let's break down the utility bills you're likely to be paying in the UK and how much it will cost you on the average. Firstly, we have energy bills, that is for your gas and electricity. This one basically depends on your tariff. Different energy companies have different tariff. Do you do central heating? Because this is said to be better than electricity heating. Are you cooking with gas or electricity? It also depends on the EPC rating of your house. And it's very easy to find out the EPC rating of your house. It's not difficult at all. You can go on the government website, type in your postcode, and you will see it. I think they have from A to G. On the average, we are looking at from £150 to £300 every month. It could be more, it could be less. So it just depends on some of these circumstances I just listed earlier. The next is council tax. This is the money you pay to your local council every month, and a lot of things also determines how much you be paying on council tax, like your local council, the band of the house, and the value of the property, right? So guys, it's very easy to find out how much you be paying on council tax. Like I said earlier, the band of your house also contributes to how much you be paying. They have from band A to F, and the amount increases according to the band. Okay, so you can just easily go to the UK government website at gov.uk and type in your postcode. It will give you the band of your house. So you go to your local council website, you already know the band of your house, so there you will find out how much you're supposed to be paying on council tax. So that's basically how to find out how much you be paying on council tax. It's very easy. Okay, so you and your neighbor might not even be paying the same amount on council tax because you don't live in the same kind of house, right? Your neighbor's house might be band A and your house might be band B, so you're not likely to pay the same amount on council tax. Somebody who is living in London might even pay a lesser amount of money on council tax than you who is living outside London. I think the council determines the value of a property, so they know how they do it. So we're looking at anywhere from £120 to £200 every month. It could be less and it could be more. Then we go down to water bill, right? Your water bill also depends on whether you have a water meter or whether they give you an estimate of how much water you use every month and all that, the size of your family, how well you use water. Do you have kids that use water all the time and things like that? So we should be looking at anywhere from £15 to £40 every month. It all depends on how much you use water. It all depends on your circumstance basically, but this should give you a rough idea. And then we'll also have your internet. How much you spend monthly depends on the broadband you're using, your area, how fast it is, and things like that. So we're looking at from £20 to £30 every month. The next is your telephone bill. It depends on your provider and the plan that you're on. So we should also be looking at anywhere from £15 to £30 every month. It could be less and it could be more. Like I said, it depends on your circumstance. So guys, these are like the basics that should be taking a chunk of your money every month. We should also look at healthcare as well. But for the UK, so long as you have paid your IHS fee, you're good to go. So you should basically be looking at money you spend on medications and all that. And that also depends on how often you fall sick and have to get medications and things like that. So I just had to restrict it to the basic things that you are definitely going to be spending money on monthly in the UK. These are the things that you cannot run away from because obviously you need a house to live. You're going to be feeding, you're going to be paying your bills, you're going to be transporting yourself to work, to school, you're going to take your children to school, you have to move around. So these are like the very important things that you're going to be spending money on monthly, and that was why I restricted myself to this, right? So in total, on the average, as a family person, we are looking at about £2,500 to £3,000 every month, and as a single, we're looking at £1,500 to £2,000 every month, right? So this is what you're likely going to be spending on the average in the UK on a monthly basis. Now, I hope this video helps. I hope you now have an idea of how much it will cost you to live and survive in the UK. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it to everyone that will benefit from it. It will help everyone prepare well. And to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you're yet to subscribe, please do so. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.